What's good, guys? It's your boy CS. Today we are going to look at Bitcoin and a few of the alt charts. I'll just get cracking straight into the higher time frame chart. So let's look at the spider line chart. Excuse me. Historically, as I've mentioned in previous videos, the spider line chart has acted as support and resistance from way back when and is somewhat like a future indicator as to where the support and resistance zones are going to be. So as we can see, like to a T, this has bounced off the previous spider line zone and now has gone and attacked the next zone of resistance. And if we look on the daily, this was acting as resistance yesterday, and as you can see previously, it's acted as resistance there, and now today we might just flip it. And if we do flip it, I want to see basically a back test off here, and then we go flying. And this is what I've been waiting for a true reversal. It's all well and good like you getting in here, which obviously a lot of us did. I woke up in the middle of the morning and I think I caught the 52k region part. But putting all cards on deck is a bit more difficult when you don't know whether the trend is still going to continue and has fully, reversed, or if there's more retracement or even more of a downtrend coming down, right? So that's the reason why I always like these back tests and retests. And so on the weekly, we're looking really healthy. For those Japanese candlestick lovers like myself, if this turns green and ends up here, this will be known as a hammer formation, which is one of the most bullish candlesticks you can have. And it just indicates that next week we are basically going higher on the weekly. Okay, if I zoom out on this chart, you can ignore the Elliott wave pattern here, but historically these pink channels that I've drawn here, these pink trend lines that I've drawn here, have acted as a weekly support and resistance buffer. So as you can see, on the 1st of July, we came out of it. On the Monday, we came back in. And then last week, we came out of it. And then this week, I presume we are going to test it. And we're coming back to the 60k region to get out of this really, really dark zone. Because remember, historic lines of resistance and support play a major impact on where Bitcoin goes. Like, they're there for a region, and the higher time frame ones have more pertinence than any other. While we're on here, we can look at the monthly EMA ribbons. We didn't quite clock it, but we came quite close to it. And on the weekly, we did clock the 50 EMA, and now we're attacking the 20 EMA. As I said to you, that red line, that 20 EMA, has historically been a massive support and resistance zone for Bitcoin. And so it'll be interesting to see where we end up this week. Okay, let's zoom out. We're still in this descending channel. Fantastic bounce off it, and this is looking super bullish. As I said, the only thing that I was waiting to see is whether next week we get a bit of a retest down. And that's something to always be aware of, because these things can happen, like on here. Like, is retraced all the way up here to 55, but at the start of the following week, it came down another 1,000, 2,000 points. So just something to be aware of. And here now we're in this kind of major zone where I want to see some flippening here. And as I said to you, I was always long-term bullish, massive long-term bullish. All of this was just a fantastic dip. Short-term bearish, I was once upon a time up here, where I caught the shorts and I ended up finishing 63k. Well, I could have rode it down, but who was to know there was going to be a black swan event? And if we look here, this is some key horizontal line of resistance now, where ultimately I want to see us flip it. I want to see us flip it and do something like that. And then, or even more bullish, just go straight from there. I've also drawn in this rising wedge, which I shared in the group, in the Telegram, because again, there is a possibility it doesn't look like a high possibility, but there's a low possibility that we break through the rising wedge, if it is a rising wedge and not an ascending channel, and we break down to around 53, 52K. It's just something to be aware of as well, because if you do have spare money, this will be a great buying opportunity, in my opinion. That'll be in my opinion anyway. Okay, and I think somebody asked in the Telegram, why do you want to see closes to your closes? Because the first one could be a fake out, and the second one could also be a fake out. So this one could be a candle close above. And then what a lot of people do is they get really excited and then they all start going balls deep in. And what will happen is the candle might go like that, but then we might end up like this, like a red candle, like that, or like that. And we might end up below the EMA, and it might take us lower down. See, when you flip, let's look at the last time we flipped. Check this one out. See that? We got a candle close over, we got a second one, and then the third one knocked us down. So it's just something to always be aware of, that just because you flip it once or twice or 3 times in a candle doesn't necessarily mean that we're going to continue the trend, because technically this is still a downtrend. Remember, this is still a downtrend. And look, multiple times where we've done this, so like we've come out of it, 1 close, 2 close, and then the third close, come back down, 1 close in, and then closed out. All the same way back here. 1, 2 down, 1, 2 down, 1, 2 closes above, and then third down. 1 close above, 2 closes, 3 closes, and then down. You see what I'm talking about? And these are just the things that you just need to be aware of. And even same here, like we've got massive impulse move up, 1, and then down. Very, very similar. And all the times we've gone into like a bit of a downtrend, these 4-hourly EMA ribbons are really, really important to understand, because they could just be fake outs. Hence why I say wait for like two to 3 closes. Again, I'm a bit more, I wouldn't say reserved. Well, yeah, I am a little bit more reserved in the sense of I say 4 hours, like wait for a couple of candle closes. Some people are a bit more draconian than that, right? They wait for daily closes. So like we want to see daily closes, like a couple of daily closes, because as well, but the same thing here, you can have daily closes where, well, 1 and then down, you retested, and then see, it doesn't take like a day or 2 or 3 to just go absolutely crazy is what I'm trying to get at. Again, like we came up crazy fast here, and then we came up and we retraced down. So it normally is like a 50% drop. So if we come up like, let's say here, 53, and let's say go to 60, we could retrace back down to like 56, 55. These are just theories. They're not evidential. There's nothing evidential concrete within that, but it just usually is how things play out, where you want to see closes on the Japanese candlesticks. This is what I look for anyway. If we go down here, we've now actually come back into this falling wedge pattern, which is fantastic, because this was the pattern that I was looking out for here when I was taking my longs, and I got stopped around here. You see, this is also part of another weekly resistance and support. You see? And so, I think I mentioned that a bit earlier on, but ultimately we've come back down here, and I want to see this flipped. I want to see this flipped, this weekly pink line flipped. And when we do, this is when the breakout will happen. This is when we're going to go full whammy, like just full nuclear. And that's what I'm expecting. I'm expecting some nuclear action. As far as the indicators go, the RSI was well overcooked. The thing is with this RSI, when it's overcooked, even if this has the slightest movement downwards, this can bring us really far down. I'll show you something. So look how far this was cooked here on the Monday the 24th at 1 p.m. It came up, and we actually went high. We went well above the middle line, like the 50 mark of the RSI, and then we came all the way down. And look at the difference here, right? from there to there. And it's just something to be conscious of. Even when we're there, right? And we came all the way up, even coming back down to around, well, what region is that? That's about like 36. See, the RSI is a very good indicator to show us where things are happening. On the smaller time frame, see if there's any divergences or deviations. At the moment, Bitcoin is looking super powerful, and this is what we wanted to see. Looks like there is a divergence forming here. Again, these are only like really temporary spats. They're not very, very indicative of where the actual trend is moving to. Like I said, this is moving back into key patterns here, which is fantastic. But always keep an eye and always keep some spare fiat afloat. Okay, let's look at Brett. Brett's done fantastic. I caught the bottom here, as most of you guys saw. Now testing this level of resistance, which is a key resistance, and it's going to be the 0.1 level as well, which is the 1 billion market cap level, where I think as well mentally, like I said to you before, when we came down from 1 billion market cap, 0.1, that was a mental game where I even asked the question and I said, look, if we come down there's going to be a lot of liquidations because so many people have put their liquidation levels just below 0.1. Everybody's going to get liquidated, right? And the same way here, which is shorts are probably got their liquidation levels here. So we can expect a massive pump once we break 0.1. We're going to be killing so many shorts here. You don't understand how many shorts are about to get absolutely wrecked. That it's going to take us straight to 0.11, like with the quickness as well, And so as far as Brett's concerned, look, we're still conforming to technical indicators here. I'm sure there's like a trend line here if I drew one, something like this, right? Yeah, so we got like a support trend line there. This has now turned into a falling wedge pattern, which, before it wasn't. This symmetrical triangle has now become invalidated, and so we can't use that anymore. We can use it as a degree of support and resistance, though, because this might come and test this level here. Always be wary that things in the past can actually rhyme in the future as well, in the sense of historic support and resistance lines can still act as support and resistance lines. Like this one, I guarantee you, we'll bump into at some point. When we get back up here, we're going to bump into there, I promise you. Casper, doing well. Nice. See, this is what I want to see. I want to see this close above and this get a nice retest on the 160. That's what we want to see ideally. That's the money maker. And PONKE doing really well as well. It's trying to break the resistance level here. Already is retested and got rejected yesterday. Today looking even more bullish. And so, yeah, we're looking really much on course. And just on Nikkei and the SPX hasn't opened today, but the Nikkei is doing really well as well. Pushing forward up 5% today. Doing really well. And USDT, to see where we're going to come down to. So I'll just pull up the ribbons again. Yeah, on the 4-hourly, we've now broken and we're now retesting it. And this is the thing, retest. So we're coming down, we're breaking that structure on there. Remember, Tether is inverse to Bitcoin. And the most key level that we're most likely going to bounce off is this 5.63% region. So maybe when Bitcoin goes to 60K or 59K, this is where we might see a bounce. And we might come up a bit and then, trounce right through. But this is looking really, really bullish for Bitcoin, for alts. Congrats to everybody that got in. Well done to everybody. I'll still look for entries because I'm going to be creating other accounts. I'm going to leverage long on whatever I can. Hence why I'm looking for a retrace on anything that may come our way. So do keep spare fiat. But at the moment, everything looking great. Still moving upwards. And I shall catch you in the next one.